3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. This is Inebriated podcast. It's your host, Sam C., Miss Jillian Ferrari, and the Shayna and Marvin Rivas family.
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
And yourself?
How's everybody doing? This is another episode of April. We're here. We're having a special episode. We're going to be having Shayna and Marvin Rivas here speaking to us about child abuse, child sexual abuse, and everything that pertains to that specifically. Stay tuned. It might be a little graphic, so anybody that's sensitive to the topic, you might not want to continue to listen to this. It's going to be very detailed, very exploitive into the aspect, into people that have suffered from these types of abuses, and we're going to be getting a first-hand experience as far as coming from the Rivas family. That Mr. Rivas, Mr. Marvin Rivas, is actually an advocate for child abuse and child abuse awareness. So we're going to be getting some of his thoughts on the topic, and here we go. But first, we're going to start with something light. Now, what's going on? Anybody got anything going on in their world that they want to discuss? New jobs?
Yeah, I have a new job. I just started. I was somewhere for 4 years. And, just getting a feel for it. I've been there for like 3 months now, so it's going good.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
That's what's up.
I do. It definitely keeps me busy, that's for sure.
Right. And then Miss Jillian Ferrari, over here, you're doing cardiosonography. How do you liking your program?
It's good. My new externship in South Miami is going really well. It's just really fucking far. But I really like it. Everybody there is really cool. The guy I'm working with is cool. It's like giving me like motivation to like look forward to like actually doing this job like when I start working for real.
Okay.
You know, so I'm pretty pumped. And they make good money, so I'm looking forward to that too.
True. Yeah, no, everybody, you know, especially in Miami, I mean, people that are going to be watching this, they don't know the hectic traffic that we get.
It's serious.
Lord!
Especially traveling. I mean,
Lord, ain't that the truth?
You have a traveling
real.
job, like how far is your job from your place?
Well,
It used to be far as shit.
Well, that's what I was going to say when you were saying, oh, it's far as shit. Well, I was going to say, like, I also had a job that was far as shit. It was actually 25 miles there and 25 miles back. So
that's rough.
Yeah. I was going to say, though, but sometimes you have to take the opportunity that's given to you in order to excel your life.
It's true.
So those 4 years gave me experiences that are helping me excel in my new job. You know what I mean? So
and nothing says you have to stay there forever.
Exactly.
You know?
I don't have to stay there forever. Although I do like my boss. She's cool as shit. You know, like she's one of those like girls that like are like us, like chill. You know, but like she went out of her way and like she had kids and she became an attorney. Like she's like
inspirational.
Exactly,
that's cool as fuck.
Sure,
yeah.
You know, and like. I thought about becoming an attorney and stuff, and like, but I see how much it consumes her life. Like every Sunday, she's on that calendar. Like, it almost consumes my life, and I'm not even an attorney.
For
like,
real.
You gotta be on top of it,
crazy.
basically. Okay, that's what's
It's
up.
like they make all this money. Like, when the fuck do you have time to spend it?
It's
Like,
like,
aside
I'll
from
take-
vacation.
Yo, I'll take my quick bonuses and my freaking little casual business allowance. I'll take all that shit and my income tax. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Like, you already know. Like,
Yeah.
I'll take all that. You know, I'll take my L. I'd rather, you know, I wanna be like. I want to be a present mom, and although she may be a present mom, she's not as present as I want to be.
Okay.
So, I mean, I respect her hustle 150%, and I love working for her, so...
Right, it's inspirational to the point where you can see yourself living under similar circumstances, but not the same. Like, basically, like, you like what she does, but not to the extent of how she does it.
I do all her work for her.
Right. Right, but as a paralegal, but what I'm saying is...
I just don't have to worry about it on the weekends, about getting up on Monday morning and being dressed for court and showing up and like talking to a judge. Like, I'm cool with walking into my office, you know, doing my thing, having my schedule, like going to the gym, you know, just doing what I do, you know, and having my husband, of course.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And you guys support each other very well. You guys are going on your how many years?
7, gonna be 8 in November.
That's what's up.
Dang.
You guys are newly married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And no, it's
Big
beautiful.
wedding in November though.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Scorpio
Bridesmaid.
season.
Hey.
And no, that's a great thing, and
Yeah, we're both Scorpios.
boom, both Scorpios. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Sir.
That's something we could talk about.
Right.
Always down for
for
that.
sure. No, for sure. And no, it's great to have you guys here. It's great to see you guys doing so well. You guys are doing so well off in both of your careers.
It wasn't
and-
always. That
Oh no, of course.
course.
And we know each other.
Right.
These people don't know, but we've known each other for a long time.
Very
Actually,
long time.
how I met Miss Jillian Ferrari here
That's
was
right,
through Shayna.
Cupid.
Right? No, she was. So that's
For
what's
real.
up. And I'm very appreciative of that.
Good looking at this.
And
Congrats on yourself, man.
right, no.
Right here.
Yeah, man, this is
This is-
big, bro.
And
We're
I-
happy to be part of it.
No, and I appreciate
sure.
that. Thank you. And especially I'm grateful for you guys willing to partake and even come on. Like not everybody's as
Cheers.
ballsy or brazen to actually come on and speak their truth and actually tell and express to other people their everyday activities, especially in Miami. See, the thing about this is that we're going to be speaking about events and everyday events that occur in our lives, being specifically from Miami, because when you're living somewhere else abroad, let's say Arkansas or Minnesota, you really don't get this same type of
It's
experiences.
nothing compared.
Nothing compared, especially that we live,
Miami's wild, people.
we live 30 minutes away from every beach, like whether it's east or west, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't get that aspect or even opportunity everywhere else. So it's interesting to hear and see the experiences that we go through every day here compared to everywhere else. I've lived abroad. I lived in Chicago for 5 years. Has anybody else lived anywhere else?
Lived
Nope.
in New York.
New York?
For
How was
10
New
years.
York? 10 years.
Wait, we're in New York.
Brooklyn, Lower Manhattan.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't think I knew that.
Really?
No, I don't think I ever knew that about you. That's crazy.
For the
Okay.
record, I call
all my
her
hats.
for-
All my hats are New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just
The pieces come together.
I just jumped in his whip and he had a New York Giants
Floor
logo,
mat.
simple, floor mat. There we go. In the car, I was like, oh, okay, Giants fan. So then I asked if he was a Knicks fan. He was like, nah, I transferred over to the Heat, to the crib, which is what's up. Okay. And then Shayna, you lived abroad for a little bit, right?
in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Yeah, that's not really a problem.
That's not really a
right. But can you explain how much it is different from South Florida?
Oh my God, it's crazy.
And Fort Myers, what? It's like, let's say 2.5, 3 hours away.
Two.
A strong two.
If you hit 100 on like Alligator Alley,
Okay.
Yeah.
without getting caught, of course.
Right. Okay, so
Find a lead car. For the rules.
okay, explain to people even the difference in a 2 hour, 3 hour difference as far as distance it is from South Florida to Fort Myers. Could you give like a basic discrepancy?
Yeah, bro. Like the level of like
Traffic.
not even
That
not
too, though, I'm
even.
sure.
Right.
Oh yeah, well definitely
Yeah.
the traffic doesn't compare, and I mean like the stores that are over there are different. Like I'm sure they've upped since now because this was in like 2009, but Fort Myers is still like boring. You know what
Isn't
I mean?
it like just the beach?
Yeah, and like there's not really much to do. Everything closes at 2, kind of like in Orlando. You know, like over here, like you could find anything at any time. Like they say, like New York doesn't sleep, and I've seen New York not sleep with my own eyes.
No, same, right.
You know, like I've seen it, like been on Broadway at like 4 in the morning, and like
And it's like it's midday.
yo, like but
All
it's
day.
dark outside.
It's crazy.
So Miami's not quite like that, but there is like a big nightlife scene here. Like people start going out at 11, 1. You know what I mean? Like those are normal times for us to go out. Over there, like if you don't start partying at 9, you're going home sober.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like can't even buy beer after 2.
Right. Which is a big thing in South Florida. Like we could buy beer at any time of the night. Like there's literally 24-hour liquor stores, and that's nowhere else in the country, like that I know of.
Yeah, me either.
Probably
I
New
don't
York,
know.
but that's about it. How
Not
about
even.
not even in New York?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
We're probably, yeah.
Yeah, we got 24-hour nightclubs. We have 24-hour strip clubs. We have 24-hour everything. Like I feel like that we are like the new Vegas, basically.
I wouldn't.
I believe that.
Especially with the rent and prices going up.
Maybe minus the gambling scene, but yeah.
Well, legal gambling is coming along. Like
yeah, but it's not as bad. I mean, Vegas is the gambling fucking spot.
Oh, right.
But Vegas,
right
yeah, right. Like we're not gambling here like they are in Vegas.
True, but Vegas just got a football team. My bad, I'm going to let you go. But Vegas just got their first football team like ever, because remember it's all tourism attraction. So imagine we've been having the Miami Dolphins, and Vegas just got their own football team. They don't even have a basketball team.
They just got a hockey team.
They got a hockey team that actually won. Yeah, the Knights.
Yeah.
Apparently, I know nothing about Vegas.
I'm sitting over there like, okay, whatever.
And so, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I wouldn't take it as far as the new Vegas, because I mean Vegas has a whole nother feel to it. It has a different climate. It has different people. Like the people in Miami. I mean, the people in Florida, even like, are just a whole different type. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, like, everything on the news is, oh, this happened, and it's like,
wait, there's literally a
it must be from Florida.
And then how exciting it is when it's not from Florida. You're like, oh, thank God, for once it's not happening in Florida.
For real.
Yeah, like, I think
Like,
the
it's a
Florida man
miracle.
craze is real. Like,
Oh, for sure.
It's for sure real. Like, everyone, like, you get caught in another country, oh, let's just go to Florida. I mean, in another state, you're like, oh, let's just go to Florida.
Everybody ends up coming here. Fugitives, all types of bullshit. No, for real.
Ted Bundy.
Bro.
Everybody awful ends up here. Like, what the fuck?
Capone.
For the record, we're not awful. We're great people.
They're down here for the weather.
Right. Well, yeah.
It is.
Oh, the humidity, like, look at the frizz.
6,000.
Too much. It's like, damn, it's hot.
Right.
Like, it was like, this is great weather. Like, what are we going to do?
Right, you can't beat it. No, I just found out Al Capone actually used to have a house back here, back down here.
Of course he did.
Right. Well,
Are you surprised?
a little bit, but no. Like when I found that out, I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" But no, it's true. He has a home back here in South Florida. It's way out west. Obviously it's
shocking.
Yeah, it's back there. But no,
Breaking
I
news.
mean, you wouldn't imagine that like off the top.
Give yourself a second to
bad
think
guy
about it.
Right.
Like, they go together.
Right. No, you're right.
For real.
And so, okay, let's move on to another topic. Let's go into the topic of the day, if you guys are ready.
Alrighty then.
Mr. Marvin Rivas, how you doing? How's everything? Now,
Everything's good.
you have done some work in child abuse advocacy, where you've done motivational speaking. You've done open speeches to the youth, to victims, to families of victims. What can you speak up on that? I'm going to leave the floor open for you right now.
It's pretty much to share my story and giving somebody the courage or the thought even to, like, if he did it, I can.
Okay.
And if it's not easy, you gotta put in the work.
Right.
That's life. You
Right.
gotta put in the work.
Okay.
Remembering my first time an open mic, I was shitting bricks.
Oh, I can imagine.
Heart pumping, sweating. I wrote notes down out the window.
Out the window?
Just went
Really?
from the heart.
Okay.
Caught their attention. That was my purpose.
Right.
People coming up to me, thanking me. They gave me, compliments. It's not an easy road.
Oh, at all.
It's people have to understand, like, for overall, it sucks overall. But coming from a guy perspective,
Right.
that magnifying glass is hard on us.
Oh,
Because
especially.
it's the way we was raised, masculinity, can't show no emotions, and top of that, Spanish culture, Spanish families are.
Right. Where there's a big like faux pas about sexuality in the Latin community that a lot of people aren't used to, and especially having, like, not saying that you have a Catholic background, even if you do, there's a lot of Catholic background within the Hispanic community where such acts are not acknowledged. They're not acknowledged at all. And, you know, I come from a Catholic background. I don't practice Catholicism myself. But I can definitely see where that could have been some trouble in your upbringing, you know. And then Shayna, as being the spouse to this man, how do you feel about walking through these adult experiences with him?
Well, I'm just glad that he, like, let me in.
Okay.
You know, that he allowed me. I mean, it did take a lot of pushing and a lot of, like, patience.
It sure did.
But once I finally got him to open up to me, even just a little bit, to me it was just like a window of opportunity where I was like, he's willing to, he's finally realizing that there's something wrong. It honestly, it took him 6 months to even tell me. By then, I'm like, yo, I already, like, love him. Mm-hmm. Like, I almost, like, I could have left. Right. I really, really could have. Mm-hmm. But in my heart, I just felt like, you know, I'm the type of girl that likes a challenge, you know, so I was like, you know what, fuck this shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Fuck this shit. Let me see what I could do. Like, I'm still 22, like.
At the time.
Well, yeah. I'm still in my 20s, though.
Right. No shade. No shade.
And, yeah, just, I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm also the type of person that I'm like, you know what, I don't want to live in the what if. So.
You have to find out, like, for sure type of thing. Yeah. I'm the same way. I feel you on that 100%.
It's like, you know what, I'd rather play it all out and be distraught and come back from that than, well, knowing that I know that I can come back from it, because I've come back from so many other things. And especially something like this, if even just seeing him, how he can come back from what happened to him.
It shows such strength that...
Right, like us humans, that we don't even realize how much strength we have to, like,
endure.
Not even that. It's like to, like, we don't even give ourselves enough credit as to what we're capable of coming back from.
That's very true.
You know, and I kind of helped him realize that. You know, and I say helped because it took him to want to do it.
Yeah, he had to still do the work.
He had to do his work. It's just like you can have a trainer at the gym,
you still gotta
but
do
if you don't put in the work yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then guess what? You're not going to lose weight. Mm-hmm. If you eat like shit, but you have a trainer, guess what? It's going to cancel out.
Right.
And that's why, honestly, that's why a lot of people don't lose weight. I mean, I know I'm a big girl myself, but I do go to the gym, and as long as you've known me, I may not have, well, I did. I lost 100 pounds, and then I gained it back after with the car accident.
Right.
But ever since then, I've continuously worked out, but not consistently. And that's what always fucked me up.
Yeah.
But now I've been consistent for about 3 months, which he can attest to, right?
Facts.
Okay.
It's hard to get that roll going, though, you know?
Exactly.
Right.
So now I'm on that roll, so I'm
you
proud
see the
of
discipline.
myself.
And you were the one who told me it takes 21 days to form a habit or break a habit.
It does.
So.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you see yourself as being a major supporter of his path, of his journey in this lifestyle that he has to live out for the rest of his days, basically.
I do, and so does he. He
Right.
also sees me as a major supporter.
Okay.
You know, and he honestly takes pride in that, and that makes me, like, proud. It makes me proud.
And it makes your relationship stronger, too.
It does.
You know?
It makes the bond deeper. Because it's one of those that us guys, we don't like to communicate, or it's hard for us to communicate, get our feelings out because of the way we was raised.
Right.
You know, that we can't show any emotions. Impossible.
I think this generation will be different, though.
Right.
I think so too. It's kind of breaking that mold a little bit.
It is breaking that mold.
That was my
But
next question. Like
Now with the internet and the Google, and now you can research, like, what if I'm feeling this? What can I do?
Everything's
if I'm
out there like an open book.
Like, when we were kids, bro, like, we weren't able to look up, like, is it okay if this happens, or is this okay? You know, like, we had Snake and Nokias. Like, I had a fucking big ass phone like this, bro. Like, now fucking I have a computer in my hand.
right.
What our parents told us, what our family told us, that's what we believed in, and
Exactly.
that was the story. That's it. There was no questions about
couldn't
it.
Yeah, no
question it.
alternative.
Right.
Exactly. Or no, we weren't gonna. I mean, let's be fucking real. We weren't gonna go to the fucking library and look up the shit that our
No.
parents were telling us that
Right.
we look up to our parents. So
right.
we, until a certain age, we're like, okay. You know,
It's like what they say must be fact because we have no
Exactly.
other source.
Right. When you,
I mean, they're our parents. They've been alive for God knows
Why?
how long.
Why would they lie? How would they not know? Like, yeah,
Right?
for sure, for
Like,
sure.
my mom knows best. That's where that saying came from.
Right.
Sorry, Sam.
No. You guys can go. And no, all I wanted to attribute that was that. Okay, so you felt for the both of you like there had to be a moment of transition, not transition as you know what I'm saying anything crazy. I'm saying as far as your behavior towards one another in dealing with this tragic event.
There was a transition.
Okay.
We split for 30 days.
Okay, I didn't know this. This is
Yeah.
all breaking news to me.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Right.
Of the Rebuses.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Yeah.
I didn't tell many people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I wasn't very proud of it because it had a great result, but I wasn't very happy with the situation because I obviously loved him, but we were arguing a lot and we weren't respecting each other, and we decided that we needed time to separate and think about if we're really going to put the work in and respect each other and do whatever needs to be done to make it happen.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. And so, Mr. Rivas, at this point, how do you feel about your experience? Where do you think that you are in your journey with this experience having to occur, specifically to you?
To me, I see myself as 1/4 of my journey.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing myself, I give myself big visions out there, and I just, as an adult, I see myself visualizing me as a kid.
Okay.
As if I had somebody who's there to be that mic
Right.
for me. I want to be for that person, for that child, even for adults. To this day, man gets, through the sexual abuse and all that stuff. Females go through it. Like, we just want to be a voice.
Right.
If I can help you, regardless of gender, so be it.
Okay. Let me ask this: have you come across anyone that you have impacted of the opposite sex? So, have you come across anyone, particularly at this point, that you have impacted positively as a female, to say, "Hey, my experience is like your experience," or it may not be like your experience, but I feel what you're going through. Like, have you had any breakthroughs or anybody come to you and approach you like that?
Crazy. I have like a good 5 females that I know
Really?
that opened up to me and giving them hope.
Really?
That's
Okay.
what it was, and it is. Just talking about it now, just seeing like, man, like coming from the opposite sex, I know that it's all about my wording and making them feel comfort and making them feel it's okay. Like, I just need help. I need a little guidance, need a push. You can relate to somebody more if they've been in your shoes,
Right. Okay.
regardless of whatever it is.
And that's great. That's really what I wanted to know, because what I've experienced, as far as not myself, but what I've come to see as people that I've known experience, when they say it comes from the opposite sex, they say, well, you'll never understand, you're not a woman, or you'll never understand from vice versa if you're not a man towards a woman. And I wanted to ask you that because that'll change the narrative, really, of where a woman can see your pain, see your experience, and be like, you know what? It may not be the same sex, but we are sharing the same experience, even at this point in our lives. And that's why I wanted to ask that question.
Well, we have to get past that vision. Because we're human beings.
First,
we
exactly.
just dividing the gender part. It makes it seem like females can understand females and male can understand males. To a certain extent.
Right.
Obviously. But overall, we still feel. We still bleed the same color.
Right, we still hurt.
You know what
Still
I
a
mean?
human
We're
experience.
still a human experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I feel that people have to get, not over, but have a clear picture, the mindset that the way I was thinking is not wrong, because that's the way I was raised. But
To be
teach
like more
yourself.
open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not only one way to look at things, you know. It's like realizing that too.
Perspective.
I even tell my kids, it was like, there's always two sides to the story. There's always, you always got to hear the other side, regardless.
Right.
Because then that you can make your decisions based on assumptions or whatever the hell it is that you feel about the situation.
Okay. And now, again, this is off the cuff. This is not scripted. All the answers and questions are completely original. I want everybody to understand that.
Nothing scripted here.
Right.
Yo, we were at dinner before.
Yeah, I'm not looking at a phone, so anything I ask.
I
is
even
off the
told
cuff.
Sam, funnily enough, I was like, yo, stop asking us questions, because then we're not going to have anything to talk about in the podcast.
Facts. And I want
That's real.
I just want the audience to understand that I'm literally asking these questions, and if they feel comfortable about answering them, they will. If they don't, then we'll just cut to another question. But I just wanted to continue with that and just let the audience know that this is all authentic. This is all off the rip. So, okay, you do advocacy work. You've done open speeches. You've done basically you're very involved within this community
Now.
now, and that's what I want to get into.
Well, that's why I said now. To give you a little jump off.
True. Before that,
And more.
where did you feel you were with this experience? Let's say even before you met Shayna. Let's go back. If you guys have been together 8 years,
7.5.
7.5, 8. So let's go back 10 years. Where did you feel that you were at with this experience? Where were you in life, and how do you feel? And do you feel that affected where you were at your life through that experience?
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely had an impact. At that time, I was at the bottom, to be honest.
Okay.
I was living in a home. I had a shelter, pretty much. Had no water, no electricity. It was a tough time.
No
Tough
job.
time.
No job.
No license.
Like, it was.
No haircut.
This is how she met me. This is how she met me.
Right. No.
That's how
I'm
she
just
met
here
me.
That's the perfect way to end it. Serious. No haircut.
That's what I'm here for.
Right. No, and that's why I want to ask you, because a lot of people don't think that this event, when it occurs, that it might affect them long term. And that's why I want to ask you, 10 years ago, obviously you were still an adult, well into your adult years, you're saying that it still impacted your everyday life.
It did. And it, honestly, until a few years ago, my
Okay.
life was up and down. It wasn't consistent. Even me being as a father.
Okay.
And I had this conversation with them, and they understood. They accepted my apologies, and like, people don't understand how deep it really goes. Like, yo, to the core.
Right.
To the core. You don't see it there. You don't see it that moment. You're just struck on what the fuck just happened. And you're in that zone. I swear to you, in that zone, that mindset, until you're ready to change. And then as you're where I'm at now, after a year and a half of therapy, looking all that shit back, like, shit. Like, that really, like, my life was all over the place.
Okay.
But in my mindset, I was on a straight line.
Right.
Living day to day.
Right.
I mean, living day to day, anybody would feel that way. An alcoholic, anyone that's been through any type of trauma, a drug addict, you know, you wake up, you do your day, you go, and then you just think, you know, you're going through a straight line. You know what I mean? Anybody feels that way.
Yeah, no, I believe post-traumatic stress transcends just like the battlefield. And I really think that, you know, comparing one to another is not exactly a fair evaluation, but I would say that any type of traumatic event that it happens in your life can cause post-traumatic stress disorder.
For sure.
So, you know, a lot of people think that, oh no, you know, you had to go through war and see bloody gore and, you know, live through an event like that to really get the feel of what post-traumatic stress is. But I honestly think that if you go through anything traumatic, you know, losing a mother, a father when you're not able to cope can affect you in that way. Losing a sister, brother, any type of family member, or even something that happens to yourself, you know, losing your job, and that then leads to you losing your livelihood as far as, you know, a home, a roof over your head, and food in your mouth. Like that type of traumatic stress, I think, is very similar to post-traumatic stress that can be
Think
caused.
about that. He was going through that on top of the traumatic stress that he was going through
because
from
of
the
the
child
offense.
abuse.
Right.
Plus, he lost a job, and then he still was getting some money from the government, and then child support. Like it kind of like he was kind of like squared into that shelter home. I mean, thank God he had a shelter, but like, you know.
Right.
I was gonna add to what you said. Like, even when you're a kid, you know, you fall off of a bike. You know, you could be scared of riding a bike until you're in your 20s, 30s, until someone comes along and they're like, come on, I'll teach you, you know, or whatever the case may be, or you just get the guts to try it, you know?
Right.
Like, that's even a post-traumatic.
No, I agree 1,000%. You know, I just wanted to clear the air of what some people may think that that post-traumatic stress only pertains to those that have been in warfare. You know, because I have a lot of...
I'm agreeing.
Right. I have a lot of military friends.
Sure.
I have a lot of military friends, and they always assume that... Well, not always. Let me take that back. A lot of them assume that their experience and their post-traumatic stress is nowhere near or cannot be compared to someone that's living a civilized civilian life.
It's just different.
No, I agree that it's different, but I can say, in my experience, because I've experienced a traumatic experience, nothing to the volume of what we're talking about now, but even my experience as a civilian, I've had an episode of post-traumatic stress. I can't say that I have it at this point because I've come to terms with it, but I have experienced an aspect of post-traumatic stress at one point in time in my life. So, you know, I just wanted to open the format on that. And so, okay, moving along with your experience, we see the negative, we've seen the positive. Now, I'm not going to ask what age this occurred, but we're going to assume that this happened in your younger years.
Yeah. Between 10 and 12.
Okay, 10 and 12, okay. And to those out there that may assume that this is coming from, you know, within or without, or within or outside of the family, I'm not going to ask you that question unless you're able to answer it. But was that person that affected you in this way still around you in those growing years?
Yeah, and that was my cousin.
Okay.
Male cousin. And great thing you questioned that, because I believe 80% of the perpetrator is a family member or someone that they know very well.
Right, a close family friend, family member. I don't have I wanted to grab the statistics, but I just didn't have time. I wanted to pull up a lot more statistics, and thank you for clarifying that. So 80% of perpetrators are usually family members or friends of the family.
Right.
And you can attest to that.
Right.
Okay. With that, you're saying that this person was within your life after the experience. Can you say that he was even in your life into your adulthood?
Oh, yeah. to my adulthood to the point that
I know him.
Right.
How about
So
Okay.
I pretty
Up
know
until,
that.
up until the point where you guys have a relationship. Okay.
The thing is that goes back to post-traumatic stress is you put a mask on.
Right.
You learn how to put that mask on. So when there was family events, Spanish
were
culture, you put the mask on. And I mean, I don't conversate with the dude.
Right.
It's like, hey,
Right, and you've come to a clarity of what's occurred and how you feel about it.
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what's crazy is that when we're around him and he's in the room, he doesn't talk.
You feel an aspect of tension.
I didn't know until we were together for 4 years.
I would say, 4
Like
years.
4 years. I knew his name. I knew everything, but it never clicked.
Okay.
I thought that it was his uncle, and maybe he subconsciously told me that so that it would take me that long to figure it out.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe to
Like a
save
protective
it.
guise.
Right.
Okay.
But we were actually on our way home from Port St. Lucie.
I
His
remember
sister
that.
lives in Port St. Lucie.
I remember.
And he was just so happened to be at this party.
Okay.
And we were on our way home, and halfway there, I just had the balls to turn around and just say, "Hey, is that guy, this guy,
This
guy?"
person.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me. He hesitated for a second, and he goes, "Yeah, it is." And
Into the mic.
sorry. And it was just crazy. Like the minute that I finally put all the pieces down together, because like to the point where I carried this man's child. I've carried this man's child, 2 of them.
Right.
I played with his kids. I've said hi to him millions of times. And honestly, if I would have known, I probably wouldn't have been able to even look him in the eye.
Right. There would be a level of disgust.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Because right now, I am,
Infuriated.
no, like to the point where I've heard his wife say that the kids are attached to him, and he has 3 little boys.
Mm.
You know what
It's
I
kinda
mean? And that's scary
Right.
to
It
me.
is.
It is.
That's like,
Right. The possibility that this could be.
You're
that-
putting
that-
2 and 2 together
Right,
and
that there
seeing
could
how
be-
likely this
there could be more
situation
victims.
could have repeated itself.
Right. That there could be possibly
And
more
most
victims.
likely it has. And I think it comes with me, with my healing, my time of healing is like, I want to. But am I going to push myself to go crazy again?
Right.
I'm also healing this whole process. So I have to do it the right way I feel fit for me to move on and not let it bother me ever again.
Right.
Are these kids still in their teens, or they're younger, or
Teens and younger.
wow?
Okay.
one of them, I think one of them's like 5 or 6. And then the other ones follow closely
Okay,
after. Like
right.
maybe like 8 or 9, and then 12 or 13.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So you possibly
Yeah.
believe, in conclusion to this point specifically, you possibly believe that there are also more victims.
Yeah.
Once an offender, always an
Mhm.
offender.
Okay.
If you're sick, or whatever the excuse that you want to give for this this disgusting feeling or urge that you have to victimize people that are not as vocal as others, you're gonna keep doing it because you know you have the power to do it.
Okay. I hear you. And that's strong. That's something very strong that I wish, and I hope that everybody takes away from this. That, especially people that are living through this on a day-to-day basis can, encourage themselves enough to acknowledge that you know, a predator is always going to be a predator. You know, the victim doesn't always have to be the victim. You know, they can grow from being the victim to an advocate, and that is part of the healing process, I'm going to assume.
Well, the healing process is based on whatever fits you.
Okay.
Just for me, I just feel from the shit I've been through, mentally, I could handle a lot more weight than probably somebody else.
Right.
Just from the shit I've been through.
Right.
He has a lot of support. His whole family, like when he told his whole family, they all were very, very, like, Team Marvin. You know what I mean? Like, it was amazing.
Did anybody
Really.
think he was being dishonest?
No, it was more obviously a shock. You know what I mean? A normal, like what?
So even this person's parents, who are obviously also family members, they know about it as well?
No.
So, like,
Immediate.
everybody but them.
Immediate family.
Immediate family.
Okay.
I just want to say.
But they will, though.
Okay.
That
That's
time.
Yeah.
within
This is
time.
part of my healing process.
Right.
Okay.
It's kind of like the 12 steps in.
And, like, drug addiction. Yeah.
Right, but it's his own 12 steps.
Right.
You know? Or maybe there's 20 steps. However
Right.
many steps he has to take to get to where he needs to be or wants to be, where he envisions himself. Like he said, like, I respect so much that he sets his goals so high that even though he can't attain them, or, well, not can't attain them, even if he doesn't attain them in the amount of time that he thinks he will, he has a vision to become that for himself. And I respect that.
That's all respectable.
I
yes.
do.
Yeah.
100%.
I want to
agree.
say something really quick.
Go ahead.
One thing that I really, really hope that everyone takes out of this conversation and everything is to really just pay a little bit more attention to your kids, to the people around your kids. If you're at home having a couple drinks with your friends, that's cool. I'm all for that. But get up every once in a while. Go check what your kids are doing. Because they could be showing signs of what their parents may or may not be doing to them, or their uncle
Right.
may or may not to other kids.
Right.
You know? So if you don't make them feel like you could barge in at any time, they're going to feel the freedom to do and say as they please. That also goes, I mean, yes, the child abuse, but also the cursing, the hitting, the what are you watching on YouTube?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make this conversation about that, but I'm just saying, like, it's the bigger picture. You know what I mean?
To be
Just
more
pay
attentive to kids.
Right.
More attentive to kids, to adults,
Yes.
the
Adults
way they
around your
act.
kids.
Adults around your kids. I agree.
I went to a restaurant the other day, and the guy really honestly rubbed me the wrong way. And we were with me, my coworker, and her young son. And the guy, I guess he was Peruvian. It's a Peruvian restaurant, so I'm assuming it looked like a little mom and pop owned shop, whatever. And he was like, "Oh, you're doing good." His English wasn't very well. He's like, "Oh, you're doing good in soccer and da-da-da-da," and all that stuff, whatever. And he got into the, "Oh, do you like math?" And he's like, "Yeah, I like math." And the mom was like, "Yeah, he's actually really good in math." And he's like, "Oh, anytime he needs help on his math homework, you can bring him here and leave him here, and I'll do math with him." And I was like, "Yo, I ain't taking my kid nowhere, not with you
No
or
stranger.
anybody,
Right.
to teach math, and nonetheless leaving them with you by themselves." Nigga got me fucked up.
So,
Like,
so you feel like this person was a complete stranger to the child and the family that he was directing these statements to?
absolutely.
That's really
and
fucking
it made
creepy.
me feel uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And
I just wanted to clarify that because you know they could have been relatives, they could have been family.
No.
But you're saying that this person that was asking and telling the mother to leave their child behind to do math with this grown ass man, you felt that was inappropriate.
very
Okay.
honestly, it wasn't even the gesture. It was the tone of voice, the
context.
The mannerisms, yeah.
Exactly. And that's more of what I'm telling people to pay attention to. Like, even if you have the slightest gut feeling that this person is not good for some odd
There's a
reason,
possibility.
don't do it.
Right. You don't take that risk.
Exactly.
That risk could be life-changing.
Exactly. Like, don't be overprotective about your kids. Yes, let them stay. But, like,
Right.
know the people that you're leaving your kid
Right.
with. Like,
use common sense.
Exactly. Like,
Right.
a lot of people don't have that, and especially in Miami, like, back to our beginning conversation, like, you don't know what is over here. Like we said, everybody moves to Florida.
Well, yeah, no, we definitely see that.
Scams, that, like, everything negative is here.
Right.
It's like you gotta shove your kids up your ass if you want them to be safe,
Like,
and that's
for
sad.
God's sakes,
That's
we go
sad.
to Disney with fucking
Watching wristbands, yeah.
No, fucking the ones holding on with the kids.
Oh, the leash. The
The
Yeah.
leash, a fucking leash for a child. What are we
That's
doing?
a crazy, right? And that's insane.
It's insane that people would even think about even taking your fucking
Right.
kid. Like, yo.
Right.
That's where we're at as far as safety
And
concerned.
it's so pathetic that it's scary that we
It
have
just
to
really
realize
goes
all
down
of
that
these
path.
things.
People steal kids
Yeah.
to molest them,
Right.
And to record it and sell the videos. I have a friend that has been through that, who her videos are still being sold in swap shops from
Wow.
years and years and years ago.
That's crazy.
She got molested, and the people that perpetrated her or whatever, a cop and some random guy.
Mm-hmm.
The cop was doing the dirty work, going to the person's thing, the mom's thing, saying, "Oh, modeling this, modeling that." Oh, took her to get lunch, dropped a
The kid off.
no, dropped
Roofie.
a roofie in her drink. Next thing she knows, she opens her eyes and
Right.
there's
Somebody's on top
some
of her.
guy
Wow.
on video. And you know what? Sometimes, like, I kind of want to tell him these stories, but I just don't know how it's gonna make.
Right, you don't want a flashback event feeling.
Anything,
Yeah.
anything, you know,
Right.
and like we are very open with each other when it comes to stuff like that. But you know, sometimes like I get home from work, like I just want to spend time with him. I want to chill, you know, like
Right. You
I
want
don't
more of
want
the
to
positive love aspect.
exactly like, and I think that's what got us through this. You know, yes, in the beginning I asked a lot of questions, and I was trying to figure it out and trying to see what I could do to help him, and like all the stuff that you would think,
Right,
you know what I
naturally,
mean,
right.
naturally, and now it's come to a point where it's like, you know what, like I know everything. I've been through therapy myself, you know, like, and I'd rather not poke that bear,
Right.
you know, but now you know.
I respect that. I gotta respect that.
I want to
Yeah.
ask one last question, and then we'll close this up. Recently, I've seen a video actually, and it pertains similar to the conversation we just had. But there was a young lady, and she came home, and just told her mother that these events were occurring within the home, in which the mother turned around. This is live. You can see this on WorldStar. The mother turned around and
I think I saw this.
denied all accountability
The stepdad or
to
something, right?
yes, the stepdad denied all accountability due to the
Scream
fact
at
about
her.
how
I
well
understand.
the stepdad provided, how well the stepdad was to the family, almost to the point where it seemed like she made it seem like the stepdad was a necessity to have in the household, and she wasn't. Now, this young lady obviously did come to a family member and tell her side of the story, which was then placed in denial by the mother. Not saying if you experienced it, but how do you feel about victims that do not hear, that are not heard of what they have to say?
That's a good question.
It is. From a personal experience, when I first told my parents, their initial reaction was shocked. My stepdad got up screaming because that was his favorite nephew. Couldn't believe it. He stood, locked himself in a room the whole night. I went home, he was still locked himself in a room
Really?
for hours. And
Which is messed up for the record.
I mean,
Everybody
It's-
takes everything
yeah,
different.
yeah.
I understand that, and that's respectable. But at the end of the day, if your son is telling you something, at least ask questions.
Right.
Get mad after. Be mad with your wife. Like, go into your wife's room and be like, oh, how could this be? Da, 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 da. But don't put that impression on your son.
Okay.
Don't. That's just my...
So how do you feel about your experience?
Maybe it might
and when
be because
victims
of what
do
we
go
went
through
through.
that, do you feel that there's more responsibility on the parents? Do you feel there's more responsibility on the siblings? Do you feel that there's more responsibility on the individual?
There's more responsibility on everyone besides the victim who had the courage to open up to you.
Okay.
That courage there, you have to understand, coming from the younger you are, the harder it is to express your feelings or for an adult to understand. That's why with us, we get along with all our nieces and nephews because we talk to them their
like
level.
We're talking now.
Right.
Right. It's
We
in
talk to
their
them
level,
like
just like this, just in their level, for them to comprehend it.
Minus the curse words.
Of course, of course.
Sometimes.
Like I said, my parents' initial reaction was that locked himself in the room.
Right. Complete shock.
My mom, complete shock that my aunt had to snap her out like, yo, your son just finished telling you this. Give him a fucking hug.
Wow.
Because she just stood up and she was in shock. She was gone. She was out there. And she came back into it and she gave me a hug, started crying, of course, and it was just left at that.
Okay.
And it was just left in the air.
And not your personal experience. How do you feel victims are well, not only the portrayal, because I mean, thank God they're even coming out and having the courage to say these things, but
now more than ever.
But now to the people that the victims go to, and they deny or have no sense of accountability to what occurred. What do you feel about them? Do you feel that they have a opportunity to come out of that, to be like, hey, okay, maybe I didn't get it at first, but now I do. Do you feel like there's a time to grieve about the situation, and then I keep saying resurrection. It's not resurrection. There's another word. Basically, come back from maybe being in shock and denial.
Like kind of reverse it.
Yeah.
Like come back to it.
Right. Come back to reality and be like, hey, let's address this. Maybe not address the person or approach the person with the problem, but maybe address the problem and try to find a solution. Not that there's a solution to this type of traumatic event, but that there may be a solution through therapy. Well,
time. In time,
all
your
things
body,
will heal. Right.
it's not even about that. Your body will eventually want to express itself and fix itself, and it's normal human nature to want to, it's like how our white blood cells work. They attack the issue. Eventually you'll get down to the point where either something bad happens and you have to address the issue, or you get into a position where what are you going to do to better your life or excel your life?
I think it's after
in a better way.
After you see the patterns, because you live in that moment.
Right.
You're not worried about shit.
The day to day.
The day to day mindset.
Okay.
And it comes to a point that one day, whatever day it is, for whoever you are, for whoever's listening, whenever that day happens, it will happen. That your mind's gonna click. You're gonna tell yourself you had enough. That's when you're gonna start seeing the patterns that you didn't see before, that you built yourself for, and it's part of growing.
Okay, I like that.
You know what I mean? You're gonna start seeing the shit that you fucked up in, and all the pieces will come together. But guess what? From that point that you realize, you grow from that point forward.
Even from before it made you who you are.
Right.
It made you who you are.
Now, in closing, does anybody else want to say anything?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Stats. 1 in 3 boys get sexually abused by the time they're 18. No, I'm sorry, my bad. 1 in 3 girls get sexually abused by the time they're 18. And 1 in 6 boys get sexually abused by the time they're 18.
Okay.
Let that sink in for a second.
Right. No, that's highly statistical. Like, say you got a class of 30, that means 5 boys in that room have been possibly victims of sexual abuse.
Yeah.
If it's girls, that means at least 10 girls in that room of a class of 30 have been sexually abused.
Yeah, those
That's
are
scary.
alarming
That is scary.
numbers.
That's scary.
No, it is. And, you know, my condolences go out to all those people that have to deal with this on a daily basis, you know, especially coming from somebody that hasn't completely experienced something like that. I have to say that, you know, I can give nothing but my condolences, you know.
And it's I just got the chills for whatever reason. I'm about to say whatever I want to say right now. But for the parents, listen to your children.
Talk to them.
Talk to them. Open up. Like I tell my kids this. Talk to me like I'm your best friend. Respect me that I'm still your father. And that shit has worked.
That's what's up. That's what's
And they
up.
talk to me about things, you know. That I'm shocked at times. Like, okay, I'm glad you feel that comfortable.
Right.
I'm their stepmom, and they talk to me about things.
That's what's up.
Because it's one of those, like, parents you have to understand, like, they're coming up to you. And of all people,
Who else am I gonna go to?
who the hell you not gonna go to?
It's not even that. They have the option to go up to anyone, and they choose us.
Right.
Because they're most comfortable. And then when you shoot them down, you made them go left now.
It's the way you set it up. It's the comfort that they feel with you, you know?
Right. And
A
then
lot
they
of
start
kids
talking
don't
to
have
somebody
that.
else. Like, damn, how come you didn't come talk to me? Well, I tried. This is how you reacted. Someone else gave me the ear, though.
Right. And now with that, do you have any particular foundation or donation website or community that you know specifically that you want to give to the people?
There's 1in6.org, 24/7 hotline.
_ Riva Strong.
That's our IG. Telling the story, my story.
This podcast will be on there too.
Thank you. And no, I really do appreciate it. And that's really what this platform is here for. Like, for people to get out their experiences on a daily day basis, being especially here in South Florida, and how much of an impact it is for them to be down here.
I want the victims to understand, to get help, it's free. There's a Nancy J. Cotterman Center in Fort Lauderdale. Free, that's where I went for a year and a half.
Nancy J. Cutterman?
Nancy J. Cotterman Center.
Okay.
I went there. They take people that are in a relationship with the victim so that we can learn and understand
As spousal
how
support.
they think, what they went through,
That's
what
amazing.
they go through in the brain aspect. Not so much. I still had to use my own brain and make my own effort to help him do the same thing, you know, but it did push me and help me, and my counselor was amazing, you know, she's awesome. So if you need someone to talk to and you went through some shit, hit them up.
Okay.
And also RAIN, RAINN. It's another website you go to, gives you 24/7.
Christy House.
Okay.
That's
Shout
down
out.
here. Yep.
Thank you. Now,
Oh, and Lauren.
Lauren's Kids.
Lauren's
Lauren's
kids.
kids.
She's a big advocate, and actually she gave me the inspiration to open up, to tell my story. And short reference, she was sexually abused by her nanny.
Wow.
I just got chills.
You know, and it's one of those, like, you know, hardworking parents, you don't think nothing of it, especially, you know,
You're like, my kid's safe at home.
you gotta do what you gotta do to work. And you find stuff like this out, but it's like I said, just educate yourself. Read. That's all I can tell you. Look up stuff. Question Google.
Right.
We were
Google
just
tell
talking
you.
about that.
right.
Nowadays we have Google, like YouTube, like YouTube things that are gonna make things better for you, like not how to build a gun
Right.
or a bomb or some shit, like YouTube shit that's gonna help you and influence those around you and just better yourself. Like, we always have room to improve. Like, don't ever lose that humbleness, ever.
That's what's up.
You gotta put in the work. It's gonna take time. It's gonna be difficult. You're gonna go through the storm, go through the hurricane. But you know, it's Floridians. Once the hurricane passes, that sun is out.
Shutters come down.
Right.
The sun is out.
The sun is out.
You know,
Facts.
and it's a scary ride. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a scary ride. Just find somebody to support you, person, people, whoever, and go for it. Why not you?
That's what's up.
You deserve
That's
it.
what's up. Thank you.
Everyone does.
And I want to
Thank you.
I want to thank the Shayna and Marvin Rivas family. I want
Yes.
to thank Jillian Ferrari for hanging out with us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
and
you for the
sharing with us.
platform.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Thank you.
and
Thank you for having us.
no, thank you. And
Anytime you want to be here.
this is another episode of
Podcast or not.
Facts.
That's
Big
my
facts.
bitch, guys.
Main
That's my
bitch.
bitch. Ferrari, her name is Ferrari, not Jillian. Ferrari, it's Ferrari. Ferrari Jillian is her first name.
This has been another episode of the Inebriated Podcast. Check us out on all social media platforms: IG, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spreaker, everything. Google Music. We're on all social media platforms. Thank you for listening.
Woo!
And then we'll cut it from there. Thank you.